Welcome everybody to the premiere or the launch of the brand new channel Advanced RC Adventures, or to be known as A2RC or A2RC. This is a channel where we investigate, explore, build, explain, upgrade and advance Nitro RCs to another level. Let's start a new adventure together. Today is a vintage Kyosho Pure 10 Mantis 2-wheel drive. It's the GP version, which is Nitro. It has a 12 size engine. This was released somewhere in the mid to late 90s, around the time where HPI released their Nitro RS4 for the first time. This car is extremely unique in the vintage world. There is nothing today in the Nitro touring car world that is similar to this, especially since it's 2-wheel drive. There is two different sister cars to this as well. Similar platform. There was a front-wheel drive Nitro, and there was a mini Nitro version. There was also an EP, but this channel is solely going to be dedicated to gas Nitro, and especially my true passion, which is 10 scale touring cars. I have two of these particular cars, both a GP version. One is this Renault and another is a Corvette version, but the car itself, the actual car itself, is the same. There's a lot of good literature on the side. Not a ton of great graphics, but a lot of fun vintage history. We're going to take a look at this car. One is going to be kept stock, and one's going to be updated and upgraded. We're not only just going to take a look at them, but we're going to be breaking down components, going through transmission. We're going to talk about if these cars use bushings or bearings throughout. Take a look at the design level. I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm a former certified mechanic. It's easy for folks like us and like yourself to fall in love not just with the RC hobby, but also to fall in love with Nitro. The box talks about here, there's the front wheel steering. Servo is here, embedded in between the lower and upper chassis. Fuel tank. These particular models, like I said, a lot of things have developed and have gotten a lot better throughout the years. This is mid-late 90s. We've got our battery pack strapped on the side, receiver strapped on the other side, 12-point engine. A very interesting braking mechanism that we're going to go through in depth. You'll find this pretty interesting if you're not familiar with these types of cars. It came with two different style exhaust, but they're both rear. You're going to see inside and out of both types why I find them interesting and what we're doing to the upgraded version. Transmission, open diff in the rear. We're going to explore all of that. The box also shows an EP version here on the side. Kind of your standard stuff there. Goes through some option parts. It's fun and interesting just to look at some of the box art. This particular kit, the part number is 31733. We'll take a look at the other box another time. What an exciting way to start a channel. At least for me and people like yourself that love vintage Nitro, especially 10 scale touring cars. 10 scale is an all-around great scale, not too small, not too big. RC in general is a great hobby to be into. I myself, being a former mechanic, did a lot of drag racing in my past. Love engines, love cars, Full-scale cars are big and they take up a lot of room. Been there, done that. Diving into the RC hobby, you can have multiple different cars and trucks, buggies, etc. Keep it in a smaller package. Play with one, change to something different, all in the same day. Take up the same amount of road space, yard space. As I said before, we're Advanced RC Adventures. We're not really doing, this is not a review channel. This is taking a look at, we're going to start with 2 vintage segments of the Nitro 10 scale touring cars. We're going to take a look at this particular Kyosho, and then we're going to dive into my first love in Nitro and still my ultimate love within the segment, which is the HPI Nitro RS4. We're going to look at upgraded cars. We're going to take a look at what has changed between different series, focusing on belted. Yes, HPI came out with a shaft-driven version, just not the same. Still to this day, 2023, we have 8 scale and 10 scale pure national level racing cars that are still belt-driven. We're going to talk about why that's important, why racers still need and want belt-driven cars compared to shaft, the pros and cons as we go through this channel. So like I mentioned, take an adventure with me. Let's take a look at what this particular Kyosho has to offer. We're going to have a number of different videos going through a number of different segments. Take a look at the car as a whole, take a look at components, what can be changed or updated, or maybe why they did it, or what's different compared to today's cars. Then we're going to flip script, look at the upgraded version that I've done, and why I've done things, how I've done things. I appreciate you going on this adventure with me. It'll be a lot of fun. Let's have a good